Well, hey there everyone, welcome back to another episode where we're getting back on this S15. Man, it's just all those fiddly last little bits of all the plumbing and all the other little custom bits and pieces. So come along, I'll show you what I've got done. It's a lot harder to film this sort of stuff because I'm working in confined spaces, but I am trying to film as much of it as I can and give you as much information as to what I'm doing and why I'm doing it along the way. So come check out this update. We're getting step by step closer to doing first startup. Brad is booked to go to Powercruise in September, so we've got basically 2 months to get this finished off, tuned up, broken in, and iron out any kinks and issues that arise when you do a job this big, because there's always little things that need to be nipped up, tightened up, checked out, readjusted. So yeah, come along, we're on that part of the journey, so it is, content's a little bit harder to create because it's less flashy, but hey, it's a flashy car, it's a super cool car, and we all want to see it finished, so come along, let's get it done. Alrighty, so I'm going to take you guys on a quick little journey with me here to do some hard lines. We have the hard line here. Now, I've been asked a few times in person why we're doing so much in hardline, and I personally like it because much like this bit of filler rod I've used to shape, it holds its own shape. You don't have to clamp it to hold it into any particular shape. Yes, there can be a little bit more work in it because we start off with a roll of tube which we have to straighten back out and then bend into the specific shape we need, but once it's in that shape, it's in that shape for the rest of its life. It's really good around heat sources, so for like water for the turbo and oil lines and stuff, this works an absolute treat. So come with me, we're gonna set this up, we're gonna get all this straight, got some -6 size to straighten out as well, and then we're gonna start cutting it down to size and bending it into shape. So we keep forgetting to pick up the camera, but the oil feed runs down to the subframe and back up, keep it away from the heat, up through the filter, through the OPR to keep it at 40 PSI, and then into the turbo. Just got to finish the drain off. Turbo water return is done, so that goes down, runs along the chassis. You can kind of just see it through there. Camera's not really going to focus on it, and then it comes out and goes into the block there. And then the water feed starts over this side, comes around and goes in. So we've got to finish that side, but we won't finish it until the intake manifold's on, because that there is the water fitting off the bottom of the plasmin, and that's going to be our water feed. Hey everyone, alrighty, right now we're going to build an exhaust system, so I've got to turn all of that little bits and pieces there, plus that there, into an exhaust system and a wastegate return. So huge shout out and thank you to Ben Bros. I'll leave a link in the description to their website if you need any piping, exhaust, any tooling to make exhaust systems. Jump on their website and have a look on there, because they pretty much have everything you want, and the quality of the bends, second to none. You know, can't beat that finish. All prepped, ready to weld. So you can get straight pipe in 1 meter as well. You can buy pie cuts, titanium, stainless and aluminium. You can buy your capping silicon ends for when you are welding if you wanted to back purge. So again, check out Ben Bros, and I'll leave a link in the description for you guys. And thanks again, David, for always supplying me with the goods. Cheers, mate. Alright, so one of the first things we got to do is we've got to work out the rough layout of where we want this wastegate to actually sit in conjunction to where we need to run the dump pipe off of here and down underneath there. It's all fairly straightforward. I've played around with it off camera, so I have a rough idea, so I'm just going to get stuck in, get it tack welded, and pick back up once I've got some more pieces together to show you. So wastegate's tacked in, dump pipe's started. So now I just got to work out which angle I want this to face and where I want them, or if it focuses down there, where I want them to meet up down beneath. So I'm going to go up with the hoist and take a look underneath and work out where it's going to sit best. So it doesn't look like there's much of a gap there, but when the tape's pushed back in, there's actually like my finger thickness pretty much there, so it's not going to rattle and touch. But once I've welded everything up, it goes off for HPC coating, so this will all be HPC, dump pipe will be HPC, wastegate's all plumbed back, so it's not absolutely obnoxious. Dump pipe's all tack welded in place. Now I've just got to join that into there at the best location. Dump pipe's all made, wastegate's made. I'm just about to finish off the plumb back section. We've got it all shaped up and mounted. I've just got to tack it together and then mark out where we've got to cut the dump pipe, cut that hole out, get the O2 sensor bung in, and then I can weld this up and it goes off to powder coating. Camera's not overly keen on focusing this angle, but dump pipe is in, tack welded up, and the wastegate's all tack welded. This angle might be something a bit clearer of how it mates up there. I've drawn all my lines around the edge, so now I've just got to take the dump off, cut that out, and mark, or before I take the dump off, I'll mark where the O2 sensor is going for the Lambda kit, and then I can take it off, cut all my holes, and then I've got to weld the whole thing together. use the brake lines that aren't finished yet, but we've just got to make some extensions there. But just showing off the dump pipe and wastegate that's all now powder coated up and in its final location.
Yeah, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets didn't taught me, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy,
So we've had back seats back out again and reupholstered a second time. This time we had the grey material switched out, so it's a match to that material. It's very hard to tell the difference between the two, as well as Brad, the owner, requested that the headrest area be more like the actual seat, where the headrest area isn't confetti, so we did that. Looks a little bit more like the front now. The other thing that's all back together now is this center console is all re-put back together. We just need a shift knob, so nothing too big there, but yeah, interior starting to look really pretty. And he's coming in and inspecting stuff, but so yeah, we got these backing plates for the handbrakes, but they were really rusty, so I've given them a quick sandblast to take off all the main bits of oxidized metal, and we've just now got all this light pitting and little bits of leftover rust, so we're going to rust convert it to kill that oxidization so it doesn't come back, and we're going to undercoat it and paint it all up, and then they will look pretty well brand new after that. Parcel from GK Tech just arrived, which is going to be our conversion handbrake cables, so we can connect the R33 drum handbrake to the actual handbrake mechanism on Brad's S15. So come along, let's clean these up and finish it off. Alright, so they're all sandblasted, rust converted, and now painted up. Not the prettiest things at the end of the day, but they're solid enough and ready to have the handbrakes put back on. The GK Tech conversion cables have arrived, so we're going to pull apart the rear end off of this and get CVs, handbrakes and all that all assembled up. Alright, shoes are back on, cables are in, and we're ready to pull the rear end apart. Let's go. Alright, so backing plate, handbrakes in, cables are in. I just got to finish obviously getting them into actual position, but I got to remove the old ones fully first, so they're just left connected up on the Y bar up there, so I'll unbolt them and they'll trade positions with this lot. If I aim the camera at it, they'll line up and position in with that. This side's all back together, and just awaiting final adjustments of suspension and tighten up. This side's pretty much at the same spot. I'm leaving this CV unbolted for now because we've got a tight diff in here. I'm just going to leave this CV unbolted for now, so that way it doesn't lock up and make it hard to push around, but as soon as we're ready to drive it, we'll get that all bolted up and finalized. But coming along. And that concludes another episode. Thank you so much for coming along, making it all the way to the end. Really appreciate everyone that's been hanging around, watching all these videos. Thank you everyone that's made it to the end of this video. Appreciate all your support. It really means a lot to be, a year and a half into this YouTube journey, and having so much feedback from you guys and so much support from you guys. So keep it up. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We got my S12 and one of Semit's cars coming up on the channel very, very soon. So once this one's done and we're sorted with Powercruise, those videos will start dropping. Filming has started for them, but progress is not going to be a whole heap until this one's done. So thanks again for sticking around to the end of the video. Appreciate your support. I know this video is probably a little less content lackluster than other videos before it. But yeah, it's nearly done. Stick in there. We're nearly finished. Let's see this thing run very soon. Stick around. See you at the next episode.